Is this your first tour, the Hustle Gang tour?
Yeah, this is my first tour.
Like first real tour?
First real tour.
Now, the Hustle Gang tour, it stars T.I., right? But there's also other members, of several other members, right? I've seen Trey the Truth on it. I've seen Young Dro, Tokyo Jets.
London J,
Ra, yeah.
Transley. Even we got 5 mics. You know
B.O.B., has he done some dates?
Yeah, B.O.B. pop out every once in a while. You know, he got his own thing going.
And now this is what I wanted to know is how does the Hustle Gang tour work? Like how is it decided when, you know, you perform in each city? For example, it's like a lot of you guys and you guys have your own sets. So how do you decide who goes first, who's like in the middle, who's, obviously T.I.'s the headliner, so he's probably gonna be last, I would guess.
Like it's segmented off. Like you got the Hustle Gang OGs and you got the Hustle Gang Young Gun.
Ah.
You know what I mean? I end that Young Gun section.
Oh, okay, so it's like some seniority.
Yeah,
there.
Like, and you got Trey the Truth, Dro, and T.I. on their own set, but you got the Young Guns. I mean, and it goes the way I think it should go. I mean, the energy-wise.
Now you're halfway done with the tour, or almost halfway done at this point?
Almost done.
Now, how has the touring, I mean, this being your first tour, how has the experience been for you so far at this point?
Really, it opened up my eyes to a lot of things, you know what I mean? And I experienced a lot of things. I got to see a lot of things that I never saw, so, I mean, it's good for me. You know what I mean? It's helping me grow as an artist.
Now, those are some positive things about touring. There also can be some negative things about touring. When it comes to touring, what's your biggest pet peeve at this point? What bothers you the most about it, if anything?
Like, we gotta move on a time period, like when somebody else say move. Like, it's already set, like the schedule, so we gotta go by that. I'm not good at taking orders, period. So that's probably the only bad thing.
Top 3 road necessities. Top 3 things you need on the road.
I need clothes, period. I need money. And of course I need
marijuana.
Yeah.
Is it a particular strain?
OG.
Okay. Now, when it comes to touring, right, and we're at the halfway point, you're actually back in Atlanta. First thing you do when you get back home off the road, very first thing, absolute first thing.
I'm gonna hit my kids, see where they at, see if I can pop out on them. You know what I mean, because I know they're the ones who miss me when I'm out on that road, for real, for real.
Now, when it comes to performing on stage, right, I saw a couple years ago, and this is probably the most recent fall, you know, because stuff can happen. I saw Diddy fall on the BET Awards, right? Yeah. And stage mishaps can happen. Has that happened to you yet? Have you had a stage mishap yet?
What's some wood at, because I want to knock on it. Nah, it haven't.
Not yet.
I be scared because of the simple fact I be so energetic doing my performance, jumping all around, that I be thinking like one day it's gonna happen where I'm gonna slip and try to play it off or some shit. So.
Now, what about fans, right? I don't know if this applies to you or maybe something you've seen with another person on a Hustle Gang tour, but I saw on TMZ a while ago, Ja Rule, he smacked a fan for throwing a beer can on stage. Any crazy fan encounters for either you or somebody else on this tour that's happened so far yet, or no?
Not me, but a lady threw a big bra on stage while Tip was performing. And it was like so big, and it hit the floor, and he was looking at it, and he kind of kicked it, but they tried to throw it back out there, but it didn't go. So yeah, that's like one of the funniest moments that I had on the tour right now.
Now, sometimes I see, like, when people perform, right, I've seen some people, they'll throw money, right? Like, if you were at a strip club, some people in the crowd will throw money up while you're performing. When you see stuff like that, does that bother you? Is that not a big deal to you? Like,
it depends on how the person's doing it. You know what I mean? If they're doing it in a way like, yeah, I'm throwing money on you, yeah, I got a problem with it. But if they doing it having fun, like, I don't got a problem with nobody having fun because, you know what I mean, you have fun sometimes too.
Sometimes I see people on the floor, they'll throw money up. Sometimes, you know, if it's a balcony situation, like if there's 2 levels in the venue, some people will kind of throw it down on maybe a favorite song that they like that, you know, an artist has performed.
I don't have a problem with that. But if you, like, throwing money on me trying to, like, embarrass me or something, we got a big old problem.
I see. Now, when it comes to touring and you opening on this, somebody watching this, right? Maybe opening for the first time on their first tour. Any do's and don'ts, do's or don'ts, I should say, for somebody opening on their first tour? Anything you recommend? Any advice?
Yeah, just don't go out there thinking like they just gonna vibe with you. Like, you gotta win that crowd over. I mean, you gotta go out there and give these folks a show what they pay for. And if you don't be expecting everybody just to be clapping because that ain't what we here for. I mean, fans pay to see a show, so I feel like you should give them a show every time you're on this stage.
Now, that's a very good point that you brought up. Now, you're from Atlanta, so obviously Atlanta would be your hometown, home city.
For sure.
But performing in a new city where they may be familiar and may not be familiar with you, how hard is that to engage with the crowd? And if it doesn't go your way, do you feel like, does that hurt your ego? Like, how does that work?
Me as an artist, like, I got the attitude where I feel like I don't really care about the negative feedback, you feel me? So I go out there and do what I gotta do, and even if they say, well, there's a way, I don't care. I'm gonna go out there and the next time I'm gonna try to fix something and make it better. You know what I mean? So I don't pay attention to negativity, period.
Well, sometimes an artist can look at performing in front of a new crowd a different way. Some artists, it's a challenge to them. They want to see if they can win some fans over, if they can, you know, turn a dead crowd into a live crowd, right? Or an observant crowd into a live crowd.
Yeah, I had to do that a couple of times on this tour. Like, we done went through some tough cities. I mean, like Philly, they tough. I mean, you got, well, Grand Rapids, they was tough. I mean, but once you get up there and let these folks know you mean business, and you can do what you came up here to do, they gonna start rocking with you, because that's how I popped out on them. And New York, don't let me forget New York. But every last one of them cities, after I left that stage, there was people coming up to me telling me, hey man, you did a good job. So that right there showed me I completed my mission.
I know some artists can look at a you know, like an observant crowd or a dead crowd, and they may feel defeated. You know what I mean? Like the crowd got the best of them. You know, so it's different ways somebody looks. Now, when I personally went on tour DJing for Yo Gotti, New Orleans was a tough crowd for us. For some reason, that crowd. Have you done New Orleans yet?
I never went through New Orleans.
It's like they're a very observant crowd. Like, they don't really get into, I don't know, with Gotti's music, they didn't really get into it, but it was a sold-out event, you know? So it's like, I never really personally understood that. Why would you pay to go to a concert and you're not, like, an active participant? I didn't get it, but
sometimes people pay to go to concerts because that's where everybody else going. You know what I mean? They don't want to feel left out.
I see.
So, like 85% of the people in that arena is fans. The other 15, they just come just for the show.